Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud, and this is episode 4 of War of the Worlds. It's complicated. I just gotta say that this, by far, is the lamest title of the season. Because over the first three, Apocalypse Now, Hellraiser, and Casualties of War, and now it's complicated. No, this is a little thing that I noticed. Okay, so I'm recording because, like I said in the previous podcast, I was like, if they fucking stretch this out into two parts again, I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna wait until something happens. Then I'll talk about it. And yeah, something happened. We not only did we get an elimination, like a mission and elimination in one episode, but we got two eliminations in an episode. And once again, a fucking huge pillar of the challenge community is out of here. It is fucking nuts. So yeah, things are happening. I am excited, even though CT is gone. Spoilers. I'm still just like, God damn it! This really has the potential to be something new and fresh. But let's try and cover the mission which was Fallout, and the winners were Polly and Ninja Natalie, which should not be any surprise. That is exactly what the Natalie Ninja American Warrior lady does. She jumps on things. She climbs obstacle courses and stuff like that. So, good job for her. That was awesome. Turbo and Nani win. I didn't mention this in the previous episode, but I am so all about Turbo. Turbo to me is like, holy shit. Like now that you're here, it seems like you were always here or always meant to be here, that sort of thing. So I'm really excited. The flip side of that is that he's with goddamn Nani, and I do not care for her whatsoever. The last time Nani was here, she was with Wes, and I fucking, I'm a huge Wes fan, and I hated the fact that they were together. And fucking after that, Nani, you were supposed to retire. What are you doing coming back? What the heck? But, luckily for her, she's with fucking Turbo. And and she's not a bad competitor by any means. I mean, she's not great, but she's not bad at all. So fuck man, like this might be her return, her best return season or whatever. Who else wins this? Hunter and Georgia, good for them. The two people to complete it, or the two teams to complete it but not get to the tribunal, is Zach and Zahida. That's another team that I'm torn. I don't really care for Zach, and I'm all about Zahida. And then Kara and Theo, good for them. But the mission overall, like it's fine. I like the fact that you could either choose to be the one to rock the contraption while your partner can choose to do the more crazier stunt of leaping over heights and stuff. But I really have to admit, like this popped out as soon as I started to watch it. I'm like, why didn't CT jump? Why didn't he try for it? Now, I think in the confessional he was saying like, "Hey, I don't want her to break any records. I just want her to be able to execute." And so that might mean him saying like, "Listen, this is going to be a 50-50 team. It's not just going to be me, it's going to be the both of us. Are you this season's Veronica for me?" And in a way, she was. Well, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, the mission itself was fine. I mean, we've seen this plenty of times before. It's over. It's a heights challenge, But I think the change up, that's what really got me. I'm like, that's cool that you could be a guy or a girl, doesn't matter. You could either rock the contraption or you'll do the jumping. Oh, but one thing though that kind of fucking I freaked out about was I noticed that when Kyle jumped, his bag was picked up by the wind. Like you could see the bag like moving. No one else's bag to ring the bell moved at all. So I felt bad for him, and it was really weird because afterwards he was crying, and Matt is like, "It's cool, dude. I really don't dig guys crying in front of me, but all right." But like Kyle really is. He was just like, I'm sorry, I know that you've been dealing with this shit with between Polly and Car and I, and it's not your fault, and now this happens. And like, he was really emotional. And it's so fucking bizarre. Both him and his friend Zach have both shown these emotional ranges that they really never display ever. They come off as just like two giant jock douchebags, but they're really feeling something this season. It's so fucking bizarre. So that's another thing that I'm enjoying. I'm just like, whoa, there's like some humanity here. All right, let's get to some house stuff maybe. Oh yeah, that's right. So they're having a costume party, and oh wait, is this at before or after the votes are in? Fuck, I don't remember. Does it matter? Well, let's wait. No, I think it does. Yeah, let's get to the votes because the tribunal, votes their people in. Polly Ninja, I'll just Ninja. Yeah, I wish her real name was Ninja, but it's like Natalie D, and then we have D with Wes, so it's a little confusing to me. And then there's another Natalie. Like what the shit? But they vote in Kyle and Maddie, which is no fucking surprise. And during the court room, begging not to be sent in or whatever, fucking Kyle and Polly, they go head to head. What exactly was said? Oh, didn't Kyle say like, I'm sorry, I can't unfuck her. I can't do a fucking British accent. He's just like, I can't unfuck her. And then Polly's like, Maddie is the most intimidating part of your fucking team, man. And Kyle's like, I dare you to come down here and say it. And Polly just shrugs and like, okay, jumps down there. They, go forehead to forehead, which is all they can do. It's interesting because you can get kicked out for physical shit, right? But that is legal, and that's all they're allowed to do. It's, I don't know, after a while, is it badass or is it just like posturing? Either way, Kyle and Maddie are voted in by Polly and Ninja. Turbo and Nani. I was surprised by this pick and I was annoyed by Nani. I was like, God damn it, Nani. Fucking typical Nani. Just always pissing me off. But she did make some points and she also brought up some reasons why they went in this direction because she's like, Turbo and all his UK friends are tight as shit. Like that's a huge alliance. And then Nani's like, and then I got my friends. Meanwhile, she's not friends with CT, and her reasoning, is saying like, hey, fucking CT, he always gets to the end without having to go into elimination. And she's got a point. I mean, the floodgates are open, right? Like you already got Ashley and Bananas out, and now it's just like it's almost obvious to go for another vet. When CT does leave, I was almost deadened by it. Not necessarily by him leaving, but just by another name, another poster child leaving. I was like, of course, why wouldn't he leave? Like this is chaos and shit. But yeah, they're voted in. Hunter and Georgia, they vote in Amanda and Josh. Is this for the second time? I don't remember. But it's no, I think Amanda and no fucking Josh. He was the one that voted in Hunter and Georgia because Amanda voted in someone else. But yeah, and I remember that. I don't even think I brought that up last time. But Josh did not vote with Amanda. Everyone basically votes with each other to show that they're a unit, and they are not a unit. Like previous episode again, Amanda called him a bitch and shit like that, and they're just like saying like nobody likes you. Well, nobody likes you. It sucks. They're on an island unto themselves. But yeah, here we go. What else? Oh yeah, and then there is a costume party in the house, which I don't know. I'm fine with it. Like usually it's cool to see everyone's creativity. I suppose. Yeah. And I just, it made me think back to the Duel 2 when Paula was, did the cultural appropriation thing and dressed as a Native American. And sure enough, she was like, oh, like that and dancing and shit. And I'm like, what is this fucking Coachella or some shit? Like, take that off, you fucking bitch. I was like, I'm so offended right now. But in terms of costumes, I gotta say, I gotta give the sash to Cara Maria's costume. And actually, I take that sash away. I mean, she still gets, the title, but less is more, if you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, no, no, that sash is just more clothing you don't need, baby girl. Like, it was crazy. I forgot that I had a little bit of a dislike, well, that's more than a little bit of dislike for Cara. But as soon as I saw her, I'm like, you are, I was tongue tied and shit. I was like, God damn it, she is hot as fuck. But then I've never said the ladies weren't hot. They're all cast for a reason. Well, I mean, production will only cast certain people, so they're all fucking hot. But I mean, you get to know anyone, and you're like, oh, you're ugly on the inside, or something like that. I mean, I know fucking plenty of attractive looking people, but hey, you get to know them, and you're like, oh, well, this one's hotter just because they're nicer, or some shit like that. But for a while there, yeah, I couldn't remember why I didn't care for Cara Maria. Then slowly, I did recall. What was it like? Zach talking to Kyle, and they're like, hey, she's coming after you. Polly's coming after you, Kyle, because they're not over you. Or yeah, yeah, it's all about Kyle. They're obsessed and shit. But yeah, Zach calls Cara Maria Jack Sparrow, which she gets pissed off, right? I mean, am I correct in that? It didn't. Yeah, Cara Maria was called Jack Sparrow, which I'm like, why are you pissed? That's a compliment. Who the fuck doesn't want to be Jack Sparrow? Are you kidding me? Johnny Depp, motherfucker. Like, that guy was great. But yeah, she got mad. She runs back to Polly and says, hey, he called me bad words, bad names, and stuff. And doesn't she let slip that she loves Polly? And then I felt nothing. It just seemed so like TV ready, TV friendly. You ever watch wrestling, WWE, when real life couple John Cena and and Nikki Bella, they get engaged at WrestleMania. And I was like, you know what? I know that those two are together. Like, I've seen uh, Total Divas, and I've seen their relationship. But to do that on at WrestleMania, it was just so fucking fake, and it made me lose a lot of respect for them in a way. Same thing that happened there, just a tiny, tiny bit. Like I was like fucking Polly and Cara. I was like this little like cutesy little scene, but I couldn't get too mad because that ass, baby. All right, what else besides the costume party? Oh, my God. And then this is another thing that got me super annoyed with Kara. Because Polly's like, let me let you guys in on a little thing here. Kara likes it when I get all hot headed and get in guys' faces. So I'm going to go and do that right now against Kyle and show him that it's not about Kara or something like that. Or I don't know. It was just, there was a lot of information, a lot of like, what the fuck did you just say? But yeah, they do it again. They lock horns. Had there been antlers, they would have got stuck and died together. You ever see that? Oh, it was way off topic, but dead deer, like who were like they locked horns and then they couldn't unlock with each other, so they just fucking died in the name of pussy. That's crazy. Oh, Kyle says to Georgia something like that. Yeah, he goes to Georgia. He's like, "Hey, listen, if you don't save me or if you put me in tomorrow, something, I'm coming for you next season," which is weird. It's kind of a bananas move, where he's like, "Hey, I'm never leaving. This is my fucking home. I will always be here. So you got to think of the future," sort of shit. And that's Kyle basically saying like, "Hey, I'm gonna be back next season." So interesting. I mean, I should know by now that Kyle's a lifer. Isn't this his third season in a row? Something like that. What else happened? Oh, Kyle called Kara a slut. That was interesting. Slash terrible. Like this, it's oh, it's not necessarily a white trash trailer park argument between people. Like fuck off. She's my, I can't do accents tonight. I'm sorry. Hey, you, fuck off. This is my trailer. Hayuck, hayuck. Babe, give me some more of that moonshine. I don't know why. I usually like to do impersonations and accents, but I cannot. What else? Oh shit. Okay, so this is later on. Let's move to the elimination, which was physical. A bit of a callback to the island. I just remember Johnny Bananas and Derek and Abram, and they, it was a three-way wrestling thing. And much like Kyle and JP versus CT, basically two against one, it was Bananas and Derek versus Abram. So they're voted in. Kyle and Maggie are voted in for sure. They have to choose who they want to go against. They choose Natalie and JP. Natalie gets really pissed. She's like, "Oh yeah, pick the shortest girl. You're a bully." I was like, "Relax. That are you gonna say that? So you would have said that to anyone? Anyone calling you out? Like, is that how it is, or are you just? I mean, well, I guess what's her name? Maddie is pretty tall. She's really tall, actually. I didn't realize that. Natalie and JP then are going to be voted in, and then the twist is like they get to vote in someone else. And this is where JP is like, it would be my honor. God damn, I want to do the Brazilian accent, but I can't. I can't. It was awesome. Before JP could even finish his sentence, as soon as CT heard the word, it would be an honor. CT's like, ah, fuck you. He just knew he was going to get called out. But you know what? That is the fucking beauty of all of this. That is what's so fucking great. And you saw that a lot in the Duel 1 and Duel 2, like these guys who were voted in, they're going in no matter what. They're just like, you know what? I'm coming back. Or hey, you know what? I'm fucked. So I want to choose whoever I want, like that moment when they're staring down the shotgun or whatever. And then they're like, hey man, fucking I want CT and Julia bullets blasting into my face. Hemingway style. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, it was crazy. CT was pissed. JP was not nervous at all. He really meant it. He was like, I'm a competitor and I want to go against the best. I want to go against the legends and stuff. And at first, CT was extremely pissed. He's like, this is the most you've ever said in the fucking house, dude, and shit like that. And he's like, don't give me this honor stuff is BS and stuff like that. But you know what? Later on, though, CT mellows out, because he is a more mature CT. When he's like, okay, I get it, I get it. Yeah, it's a compliment and stuff like that. But before that, when he gets pissed and he comes down to the ground and he's like, he might be trying to shake up JP or whatever, but JP really isn't shook up. He's just like, no, man, I want to do this. This is gonna be fun. CT has to reach that level of, hey, we're gonna fucking go in now. We're gonna go berserk mode, which is great when they show the scenes of him freaking out in elimination against Brad in the Duel 1 and then against Johnny Bananas in Cutthroat. Like, that is the CT that we don't really see too often. So yeah, he's fucking getting jacked. He's fucking getting pissed. He has to revert back to the CT of old, which is actually the CT of young. CT is kind of older now, mid-30s, I want to say. Oh, what else here? Oh, okay. Well, let's just discuss what happened. Maddie versus Julia and Natalie was nuts. Maddie proved that she is just a huge woman with strength backing it up. I don't know. It just kind of snuck up on me. I guess I thought Julia was big too for some reason. I know Natalie was short, but yeah, I mean it was just one against two. Well, I mean, I guess you could say two against one, whatever. But it was mostly her dragging them, so it was mostly her picking on two little girls. So Maddie wins, and then next we have Kyle and JP and CT. This was crazy. I think it was a lot shorter than they made it out to be because they kept on showing clips, they kept on showing people's reactions, but they just kind of remixed the same three moves over and over again just to get the point across. Like, oh my God, can you believe it? This person's doing this and that and shit like that. what are the stakes? And Kyle is able to get his free from JP. So that it becomes immediately about CT being attacked by JP and Kyle at the same time. And yeah, fucking CT can hold his own and shit. But I mean, anyone versus two people, that is nearly an impossible task. So eventually Kyle frees his ring from CT and fucking JP and CT are gone. It's nuts. It is fucking crazy. JP, I wish he's stayed a little bit longer. Him and Turbo are friends. And JP, he reminds me of UFC fighter Paulo Costa. Yeah. I don't know, I mean, if you know the sport at all, you would be like, oh shit, yeah, I could totally see that. They're both Brazilian, man. It would have been great if they were brothers or something like that. So now that they're all eliminated, what was I saying here? Oh, I do want to mention that once CT is gone, he says, you know what? I have grown comfy on this show. And this was the kick in the ass that I needed. And I'm not going to be like this anymore. I'm going to come back better than ever or whatever. And I love that because, yeah, he has. Like, he's gotten a comfy spot in these things because he's the vet and he's just intimidating just as is, his reputation precedes him. But yeah, these past couple seasons though, he's had more success in Champs versus Stars than he has the past couple seasons. Maybe even 3. I know that in Dirty 30 he got to the end, but that fucking High Elevation, man, he was just third place in that final the entire time. So he says, I'm gonna come back better than ever or whatever. And to me, I was excited because I'm like, okay, so that's like Bernie Sanders saying, "Hey, I'm running in 2020." You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, that just means that you're coming back. So yeah, CT is running for it'll probably be season. The next season is going to be in 2019, but you get what I'm saying. He's coming back. So both CT and Kyle are like, "Hey, man, we're coming back. We're part of this show, man. Like get used to it." And that's all. That's all I have for my notes. An exciting episode. Had a little bit of everything that you need. And the fundamentals, which is fucking a mission and an elimination in one episode. This is a great trend. I like the season still. And holy shit, what is going to happen to our vets? Is this going to be a thing to continue to happen? Like, is Wes next? I mean, he is the most veteran there is. He totally could be next, but I feel like he's shaking hands with the right amount of people. I think Kyle is in more danger than anyone. Oh shit, I do remember this though. So they're all eliminated. It's time to leave the elimination, the killing floor. And everyone's cheering and shit. And Kara's standing there and she's like, what is this, fucking recess? And like that, I forgot she had a great body. And I was like, oh God, look at that personality or lack thereof, or the grating personality that I've become so accustomed to. But yeah, don't want to end this episode on such a down note, but there you go. Like, subscribe, comment. This was Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud.